What is good, YouTube? Quinn Wade Basketball Analysis coming to you with a quick video. I wanted to let you guys know I got some new merchandise available, not just t-shirt anymore. I got different type of t-shirts, different type of shirts and logos that you can purchase on my spread shirt, and also hoodies now. We have expanded and added more to the channel and more merchandise for the brand. Thanks for supporting. It will be in the description and the links will be in the comment section below. Thanks for helping me and supporting the movement. Quinn Wade Basketball Analysis. I'm going to check out the video. What's good, YouTube? Quinn Wade Basketball Analysis coming to y'all with another video. Happy holidays to you all. It's good to see that y'all watching. It's good to know that y'all doing well and enjoying time with your family like I have done. Not only that, let's talk about a family that just went through some heartbreak, the Milwaukee Bucks. This is a team that everybody felt was the best team. They've been blowing out people, the most blowouts by double digits in the entire NBA. A team that blew out the Pistons, even though they didn't have Blake Griffin. He wasn't healthy. They still went to Boston after losing. They won 2 straight in Boston and 4 straight overall to close them out in 5. They go up 2-0 versus the Toronto Raptors. And that's the hard part. You go up 2-0. You have a legitimate chance to win Game 3. It gets away from you. You could have went up 3-1. But then you get beat the next 3 games after Game 3. You never want to give a team confidence. You never want them to feel that they can beat you. You never want to feel that they know what they can do against you. You want to make them keep being unpredictable. You want to keep them on their shoes, on their toes, whatever you want to call it, and hit them. And I feel like the Bucks was doing that to everybody. Toronto was able to make adjustments. Toronto was able to figure them out. Toronto was able to slow them down, make it ugly, make it nasty, and not get them away from the 3-point line and keep Giannis out the paint. They did it at a good enough level to get to the finals, and that's all that matters, because whoever went forward, no matter how it gets done, is the team that moves on. The only problem is the Bucks was the only 60-win team. They have the MVP. We all know that Giannis getting it. Because everybody confirmed who they voted for. A majority of the people voted for Giannis, so that means that he should be MVP. And I personally would have voted for Giannis too for MVP. That's how fantastic he was all season. And they was one of the #1 best defensive team too. So not only was they destroying people offensively, they was obliterating people because they couldn't score on them. They was long, athletic, and lanky. And they gave everybody fits and problems, even Toronto. Toronto struggled for minutes at a time, scoring a basketball, but they was able to defend and neutralize the Bucks. That's what kept them in the games. And Giannis didn't show up in the fourth quarters, even from the free throw line. So let's just talk about the Bucks right now. Obviously, y'all know, if y'all didn't know, if this is your first time watching, I do live in Wisconsin. I live 2 minutes away from Milwaukee. But it was fun going to these Bucks games. It was fun seeing their growth. It was seeing from them being a team that won only a couple years ago, to getting Jason Kidd to making the playoffs, to being out of the playoffs, to making it again, to making it to the #1 seed, all the way to the Eastern Conference Finals with their first year with Coach Bud. It's a beautiful thing to see how they went from struggle all the way to the best team. But the sad part about it is you want to win it all. If you have a season like they have had in NBA history, they was one of the best. Only problem is they're not even in the finals. And that's what we're going to talk about. Is this roster good enough to make it to the finals? And if so, you pay Bledsoe, you pay Giannis. Once you pay Khris Middleton and somebody else, you're not going to really have that much money. Now you know what this nucleus can give you. But people forget, Brogdon will be a free agent too, and they're going to have to pay him. And he's going to warrant a lot of money. The way he played in the playoffs, the way he played this season, 50-40-90 club, people going to see he's a guard that can play the 1 or the 2. He can get to the free throw line and knock them down. He can shoot spot up, corner, any type of 3. And he can have potential to be even better in the future, considering that his rookie contract is almost up. So even if they do pay Middleton, they already paid Bledsoe and Giannis. They only have room to pay one more person. And if they pay Brook Lopez or Mirotic or whoever else they want to pay, they might lose out on keeping Brogdon because he's going to warrant money. And all he has to do is sign the offer sheet. Yeah, the Bucks can match it, which is true. The problem with that theory is, can you legitimately beat? This team couldn't even get to Golden State. They didn't have KD. They didn't have DeMarcus. And they could lose KD and DeMarcus this free agency. The problem that is that nucleus of Giannis, Middleton, Bledsoe, and Brogdon, can that bring you a title to Milwaukee? Because the whole point of constructing this team at this point is to keep Giannis happy, keep him in Milwaukee, and the best way to do that is what? Winning championships. They already showed that they as good as anybody in the league this whole season.
The only problem is they came up short from their ultimate goal and even reached the finals to legitimately prove that they could win the title. One thing I will say is they did obliterate the other competition. When they got against a contender, they faltered. But majority of these games was close. Besides Game 5, they didn't really get blew out by the Raptors. Even the game that the last two games they won was close. They could have went either way. And that means the Bucks are not as far as we think from coming out the East. Yeah, we don't know how the West going to look. We don't know what's going to happen in free agency and the draft, which can shake up a lot of things. But they showed a lot of signs that they're going in the right direction. They have the right type of management. When I grew up in Wisconsin and in Milwaukee, the problem was they didn't care about winning. They wanted to have a good enough team to make it to the 8th or 7th seed, and that's about it. And they was able to accomplish that as long as I was living. Only thing they didn't accomplish was actually making it to the finals since Kareem was here, and that was before I was even born. That's how long it has took us to make it back to the finals. Only problem is the Raptors have never made it to the finals. Let me throw that in, so I gotta. Okay, at least we got there before won the ring. They haven't even got there before. So I'm not a Bucks fan, by the way. I'm a Celtics fan, so it don't really matter. But it is fun to see the energy and the excitement around these people in Wisconsin, especially because the Packers won one not too long ago, and they always in the conversation. But I just have a problem with that lineup of Middleton, Bledsoe, and Brogdon. I don't think that team can win you a title. Like I said, this is a team that didn't even make it to the finals. This is a team that lost 4 straight games to the Raptors. And that's the problem. If you're going to commit to Middleton and Brogdon, you have no room to really win outside of your core. And I don't really think the Bucks have proven anything since they didn't win it all. I can see if you did it with Steph Curry, Draymond Green, and Klay Thompson because they won the title without KD. Okay, you can plug pieces around them because they showed you that they can get it done. The Bucks haven't got it done. So it ain't like, oh, yeah, we got Brogdon, we got Middleton, we got Bless, we got Giannis. That should be good enough for us to get back to the finals. You haven't made it there yet. Y'all haven't even came out the East yet. So it's not as easy as the fans make it seem because I'm realistic. Injuries can happen. Remember, Brogdon missed the first series. So injuries do play a factor. Y'all not guaranteed to be all healthy next year. Y'all not guaranteed to be the best team next year like they was this year. Toronto didn't even have Kawhi Leonard the whole season, only finished 2 games below the Bucks. And I felt like Toronto was the best team in these. And you can watch my old videos if you want to quote me on that, because I did. And I felt like Kawhi Leonard was MVP, but he kept missing too many games and missing back-to-back, so I had to give it to Giannis. All this I said before the season even ended. That's how much I thought Toronto was going to do. The way they was playing was unbelievable. Now we're going to see what's going to happen with this Bucks team because they're not going to really have that much cap space. And the whole thing is can you win a title with Brogdon, Bledsoe, Middleton, and Giannis? Because those are going to be the guys that they have the best chance of keeping because they can offer 5 years because they came from the Bucks. They can offer more money because of that 5th year. And they already proved that they can be a great team. And Giannis have shown that he improved and developed each year. They should have a shot at least of getting to the finals in the East. And the problem with that is that shot good enough to be locked into that type of nucleus that you have to put pieces around that hasn't proven that they can win? And that's a problem that I start backing on. Remember, they had Kyle Lowry and DeMar and LeBron left, and they still made the trade for Kawhi Leonard, and now they're in the finals. Philly, they had Ben Simmons and Joel Embiid. They was all-stars. They plug in Jimmy, they plug in Tobias, and it wasn't even enough. Well, Boban, Jonathan Simmons, and James Ennis. And that still wasn't even enough to even get out to the Eastern Conference Finals. It's only going to get harder from here. If I had to be real. Just because you have the MVP, Joel Embiid was crying. He's going to come back hungry. Everybody been crucifying Ben Simmons. He's going to come back better. We don't even know what's going to happen to the other teams in the East. They saying that KD might come to the East. That hurts the chances of the Bucks repeating. And it's not realistic just to say, oh, we made it 60 wins this year, we're going to do it again next year. Bucks made it to the playoffs with Jason Kidd his first year. The next year, they didn't even make it. So it's not guaranteed that everything is going to work out. Everything's going to happen again, and you're going to be in the same situation, and you're going to have a chance to win a championship next year. You got to start all over. You have to go through the whole regular season. You have to play all these games again. You might not get as lucky. You might not blow this team out. You might not close these close games, just like they did against the Raptors after being up 2-0. It starts over. This is a whole new season. Different teams, different owners, different GMs, different coaches. And you have to start the battle all over again to get back to the playoffs. And that's the frustrating part. You have so much excitement. You almost there. You up 2-0. And now you got to figure out how to get back to where you was before just so you can get an opportunity to represent the Eastern Conference in your state, in your city, in the NBA Finals. Problem is, people don't like playing in Milwaukee. I feel like they changed the culture. They changed how we feel and approach the Bucks, how they have done these last 2 seasons with Giannis and his development, and Khris Middleton development, and Brogdon development, because he has improved from his rookie year this season. But one thing we all know is they got Bledsoe for a couple more years after this extension kick in. Can he be a starting point guard on a championship team? Can they get rid of that contract without taking a bad contract back? If they do take a bad contract, who's going to be the guys that's going to step up to fill that void? Or is Bledsoe going to continue? We've seen what happened with the Celtics last year. We've seen what he's been doing in the playoffs this year. And they gave him that commitment because they couldn't really find a better replacement that was willing to commit. That can hurt their chances in the future if he doesn't age well or continue to get injured or he don't play up to that contract. And then you got to factor in, what pieces can you plug in shooting? Well, that's what everybody wants. There's a lot of teams that would have made it further in the playoffs if they had shooting. So that means it's going to be a hot commodity to pick up shooters. Plus, the shooters going to want to go to championship teams. The Bucks are on the brink of it, but there's other teams that they might prefer that can offer them a little bit of money since they're going to be stranglehold after they sign Khris Middleton. That puts a damper on the Bucks' reality. They had a big chance to go to the finals and play Golden State without KD and DeMarcus. Now, they are saying that DeMarcus Cousins has a chance to come back in Game 1. He still wouldn't be healthy. He'd still be a little rusty. He'd still be a little out of shape. And if that's the case, you have a chance to go up 2-0 because you have a home court advantage because you're the number 1 team in the NBA. Not only that, the problem is, now can you even get back to the Eastern Conference Finals? The East is going to be a lot more stacked. If you get that number 1 seed, which they had to start all the way over to do, they have a legitimate chance. I give them a huge chance. Problem is, what type of others are they going to have that helps them do this? Because remember, Brook Lopez had a huge game. But now that everybody know that Brook Lopez can fill that role, there's a big chance that he might be somewhere else getting more money. Bucks can't offer him that much money. The reason why I say that is, once they sign that big 4, they ain't going to have enough money for Lopez. The money he's going to be warranted. Which means if they do sign him, they got to get rid of Bledsoe. So it's Giannis, Middleton, Brogdon, and Lopez. If that's good enough to get you a championship, they don't really have too many options. That's the problem with playing with a small market team. Even though they have made a resurgence the last 10 years, people are starting to go to the small market team and stand, especially because they can get that 5th year in the super max like Giannis. They have a good chance of signing them back. The problem is, will that be enough to host the championship? Was the whole point of making these moves in the offseason to keep Giannis happy so he can win the title? It's going to be tough. And that Bledsoe contract is looking a little rough right now. The more I see Middleton getting that max. And it's going to be hard to turn down Middleton getting that max because he showed that he can give you all-star contribution. Wait a minute, he was an all-star this year. And he played fairly well in the first 2 rounds. He didn't show up in the Eastern Conference Finals, which sucks. But who are you going to find better than Middleton? You already gave $70 million to Eric Bledsoe. Just imagine what you're going to have to give from Khris Middleton. A guy that's long, lanky, can play the 2 and the 3 and knock down threes consistently. Even off the bounce, even off the dribble, even with people in his face. He can shoot that ball. And he's a perfect complementary player with Giannis, who needs spacing, who needs shooting. And is already locked up, so you don't have to worry about letting him go unless he asks for a trade. Personally, I think Mike Budenholzer and his organization have changed the culture, and I feel like people will want to come. But is it really worth living in Milwaukee? Is it really worth taking a pay cut? That's going to be the decision that a lot of these free agents are going to make. I don't really have too much of opportunity. They might go to Milwaukee. Or will they have the respect for the Bucks and want to see them rise with them? I think they put in an interesting situation. But if you can get rid of Bledsoe and ask Khris Middleton or Malcolm Brogdon to come down a little bit more on their asking price, which they don't have to do. This is what you have to do to be able to get the right role players to fill out the rest of this roster. If you can't do that, you're in a sticky situation. One of the main reasons why they was able to amass this roster was the simple fact that Middleton wasn't getting paid $20 million. they're going to lose him if they don't offer at least 25 to 30, which sounds crazy considering that Middleton isn't a superstar player. Matter of fact, Khris Middleton was only making $13 million this year. If you combine that salary with Miric's salary, that's going to be his salary this season if they ever sign him. Which means you have less Tony Snells, who's also getting $11 million. And he will be eating up some of that cap. And Brogdon only made $1.5 million, and we all know he's gonna make double, well, triple or quadruple than that. So it's not even realistic that you can bring back enough role players that can make a contribution like a George Hill, like they was able to bring in, because they had these guys on cheap contracts, which they won't have them on next year unless he take a cheaper contract, which means role players gonna have to sacrifice just to come to Milwaukee, a team that didn't even make it to the finals. It is a lot of talent coming in with the NBA G League and Summer League, and players overseas can come back when the season is over. They have a chance to become free agents and try to sign with an NBA team. Obviously, you can be like Toronto, sign guys like Jody Meeks and guys like that that's small, or they still quality NBA players, but they didn't get that much playing time. Even Jeremy Lin. That's how loaded and stacked the talent is. Jody Meeks, Jeremy Lin, they'll play on a team like Detroit. They can't even get minutes on this Raptor team. And that's the type of talent they're going to need. That great talent that you can give $3 to $5 million to, and they can get you 10 to 15 points throughout the season and in the playoffs. Will the Bucks have enough cap to do that? Is it really worth keeping Bledsoe? Is it really worth paying Khris Middleton 25 to 30 million? Can you even find a better alternative to Bledsoe and Middleton if you don't want to pay them the money and retain them? This is a family. This is a brotherhood. You went to war with them for over 82 games plus the playoffs. You wanted to stay together. You want to stay kumbaya and peaceful. You want to go back and prove that y'all was the best team in the NBA. But opportunities like this don't come very often. And the Bucks should have tried a little bit harder. Giannis could have tried a little bit more moves. Because now we don't know what the future holds. And that's a scary part about the Bucks, especially if they commit to Brogdon and Middleton and pay them basically double to quadruple of what they're worth. Let me know. Is it worth keeping Brogdon? Should they try to get rid of Bledsoe now? Or do you think this team can bring back their core, put some pieces around, and they'll figure it out with the development and the improvement of Middleton, Giannis, and Brogdon? If that's the case, maybe it is worth paying them more money. If that's not the case, this team could be one of the teams that's good enough to win, but if the opportunity don't show itself like it did this year, they may never win. That's a season that we haven't been having for the last 20 plus years in Milwaukee. Good enough to make the playoffs, good enough to get close, but not good enough to win it all. And that's a painful situation for the fans to be in. And it's an unfortunate situation since we haven't been to the finals since the 1970s. Even though it's true, but that's the sad reality of being a Bucks fan. Luckily, I'm a Celtics fan. We just won a title in 2008, and we had a chance to win in 2010. Even though we lost that, and I never forgot it. But don't worry about my Celtics and me. Worry about the Bucks right now. Bucks fans, let me have it. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Let me know on Facebook. Like on Facebook. Thanks for everybody that likes on Facebook. Thanks for everybody that continues to buy merchandise. Thanks for everybody that continues to check out the website and become a member. I really do love and appreciate the support that you guys have been giving me. Not only that, let me know about what they should do with the Bucks. Check out my older videos. I do discussions just like this. I do playoff predictions. I do free agency buyouts. And I also do trade deadline. I also cover the Summer League and the NBA draft. Not only that, I do predictions, fun videos, top 10, discussions, and everything you need for the NBA. If you love the NBA, you love my channel because that's all I cover. And if you're new to the channel, check out my playlists. Quinn Wade, Basketball Analysis, I'm gone. I enjoy making these videos. You guys enjoy watching. That's why I continue to go. And at the end of the day, where will the Bucks go in free agency? And if that direction works, will they be able to hoist that trophy? Or will they just be another team that can win 50 but can't win it all? And if that's the case, the fans going to be in for a lot of pain, like the Packers, the Brewers, and everybody else that been giving it to them. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. And can they retain all four of those guys, and can they win with them?